Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. Since you can tell a lot about a person by where he or she lives, I thought I'd introduce myself by showing you my room. As you can see, I keep it pretty neat. Of course, I don't spend that much time in here. I always seem to be off solving mysteries. Anyway, here's my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That will tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
I forgot how long that intro is when you sit and listen to it.
Is some of it cut off on the bottom, or is it just me thinking that?
No.
Okay, it's just me.
Yeah, there's like this little black box that's around it.
Yeah, because I'm like, what is that? I'm like, is it just like cut off slightly, or?
No, that's just how it's picking it up now. It used to be a white box, now it's black. I don't know what changed.
If you back out and go back in, it changed to white. I've done that a couple times when I did the recordings.
It wasn't doing it for me, at least not for this time. But let's see. We decided that we wanted to go back to a older Nancy Drew game because we're trying to get back into the rhythm of streaming again. It's just like, okay, what's the easy part?
I had wanted to play Danger by Design for some reason, and I can't remember why, but I was like, I want to play it.
All right. Cover assignment: travel to Paris and work as an assistant to Minette, an up-and-coming American fashion designer whose behavior has lately become alarmingly bizarre and erratic. She's been firing people right and left, throwing temper tantrums, refusing to return phone calls, running dangerously behind schedule, wearing a full-face mask all day, every day, even while working. The real assignment: discover the reason for Minette's strange behavior and report back to Amy Grunhild, a client of Dad's and Minette's biggest financial backer, who wants to know: 1. Is Minette cracking under the pressure of trying to make her spring collection even more spectacular than her fall collection was? 2. Will she have enough designs done for there to even be a spring collection? 3. Is she up to something Miss Grunhild doesn't know about? 4. Is investigating in Minette a mistake?
Investing.
Is it time to pull the financial plug on her? Additional info: Minette has one other assignment. An assistant. I cannot read. Minette has one other assistant, an American named Heather, with whom I'll be working. Her studio is an old windmill, Moulin in French, in a section of Paris called Montrier. I cannot pronounce that.
I'm with you on
I
that
am
one.
so bad when it comes to pronouncing different languages, so I'm going to butcher every single one. She designs clothes primarily for plus-size women. I took 2 years of French in school, so I should be able to get by. Dad made me promise not to go anywhere in Paris at night by myself. No matter what, I cannot let Minette find out that I'm there to check up on her. According to Miss Grunhild, she could really lose it then. Are we playing this as our standard junior?
Yeah, we probably should.
It's like, I played this game here about maybe... Was that last year?
Yeah.
Was it the beginning? It wasn't... Yeah, it had to have been last year, because I don't think I played it this year. But yeah, we're going to do that. Are you tired?
Yes.
We start streaming, you always seem to be
In
yawning.
preparation for our landing, please make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened.
Taxi! Hello?
I said don't come near me.
No, Minette, don't!
Stay back, you hear me? Stay back!
Bonjour, vous êtes... are you Nancy?
Yeah?
I'm Heather McKay. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. How was your flight?
Fine. Well, actually, they lost my suitcase, so I don't have any clothes or my cell phone. What's going on in there? Is someone hurt?
That's just Minette throwing one of her tantrums. Don't worry. She'll
That's-
stop screaming, right?
The only time
now.
I think I would ever do
They
that is
lost
if
your
something
suitcase?
chaotic
That's
happened.
terrible. Well, at least you're
That
staying
would
with
have to
Jing
be
Jing.
really bad.
She'll have tons of clothes you can
Minette's
borrow.
mood is me reading a book when a character gets killed. And they're like the best side character.
Yeah, that's true.
Does this happen a lot?
Oh, you mean Minette? Don't worry, she's fine.
Yes!
At least she will be after phase 3, which should begin right about now.
Me, when a character gets brutally... Revenge is served. When revenge is served, yes.
See, she uses this process that some shrink taught her to manage anger and frustration. First, she vents her rage for 10 seconds, then 6 seconds of sobs and tears, and finally, at least 4 seconds of robust laughter, all of which restores her positive flux.
Huh?
It's all very weird, but it works, and believe me, without it, she would be impossible to work for. With it, she's a mere nightmare to work for. Anyway, ready to get started?
Not if it involves dealing with that. I don't want to leave. Honestly, could you imagine walking in your first day of work and you are almost decapitated by a potted plant? Could you imagine that's your first day there? Do you know how many people would quit?
Yeah, I think a lot of people would quit.
You bet.
That desk over there will be your workstation. I made a list of all the things that need to get done and put them on your computer. That's a Metro Pass. It'll let you ride the subway all over the city for free. Go ahead and take it. Answering the phone is your job. If you have any questions, just ask. Ask me, that is. Do not bother Minette. She's behind on her spring collection and is in danger of falling way behind on her couture projects.
Why is she so far behind?
She's been under a lot of stress lately.
Heather,
Yes?
I hear voices. Who are you talking to out there?
Nancy Drew, you know, from the States?
Well, she's no good to me out there. Send her in.
Yes, Minette. As soon as you feel up to it, she's right through that door.
I don't know how much I really would want to go in through that door because of
What
that.
do you mean by couture?
High fashion dresses and accessories that people have commissioned Minette to create. Needless to say, those people are très riche. In fact, she's designing the dress the First Lady will wear to the World Summit in November. Pretty cool, huh?
Thanks for your help.
Okay.
I'm trying so hard not to.
I
These
can't
doodles sure
stop.
look
It happens
familiar.
every time.
Honestly, these doodles are like the best.
Mhm.
Whoever invented this and thought this would be the perfect thing to add to the game, it's like you couldn't have this game without it. I'm gonna actually take a picture of this.
Sunny was here. Sunny June. That's why those doodles look familiar. Sunny June did them. He must have been Minette's last assistant. Wow, that guy gets around.
All right, let's check our email. We got office supplies, 2 white drawing table tablets, 2 boxes of pencils, eraser, ballpoint pen, earplugs. I can tell you I know probably why. Hello, Sunny June. We have received 2 bolts of Boral 302, which you returned to us and have credited to your account accordingly. We are sorry that Minette found the material to be substandard. Rest assured that there have been any doubts as to its quality. To date, we have received no other complaints about that particular lot. The material would not have been for sale. Thank you for your patience.
Simone, the lad.
Emily Griffin. Dear Miss Minette, I ain't never wrote nothing like this before. I ain't too sure about this email stuff neither, but I saw a picture of a dress in a magazine when I was working the library shift just now. And I mean, it was just so beautiful it stopped me in my tracks. I am struggling so
Maybe it was because the gal that was wearing it was kind of shaped like me. I ain't huge or nothing, but I ain't exactly skinny neither. Or maybe it was because all the colors on it reminded me of how these pretty bottles I got back home on Moon Lake. But anyways, I liked the dress a bunch, and when I looked at the other dresses on the page, I liked them too. So I read the article that what came with them and found out you was the designer. Oh my gosh. I'm so tongue-tied. So I thought you should know you make good dresses and you shouldn't pay no mind to anybody that says you don't. Especially that Butterleaf fella. He sounds like a first-class jerk to me. Your fan, Emily Griffin.
When someone had to write this, I wonder if their brain broke a little bit, trying to write it.
To decipher it broke me a little.
3 of our last 4 attempts to deliver pizza to your place of business have resulted in screaming tirades that have caused my delivery person to fear for their lives. As you know, one of them quit on the spot. I realize that Minette is an artist with little tolerance for interruptions, but such outbursts are uncalled for and are detrimental to my employees' emotional health. Therefore, we will no longer do business with you. I'm sorry if this causes you any inconvenience. My employees, however, are not. Hello, Heather. Like everyone else in France, we at Le Interrogator are eager to know why Minette wears that mask. Since we all know that Minette goes through assistance like a horse goes through hay, I can only assume the reason Minette hasn't fired you yet is because she trusts you. Therefore, I am assuming that you know her secret. I am prepared to pay you a large sum of money for that secret. It will be the easiest money you ever make. I will call you soon. I hope we can do business. Sorry, Renee, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And to Miss McKay, in anticipation for the final fitting for the First Lady's evening gown, please be advised that 2 of our agents may visit your premises in the near future to well, I don't know why I cannot read that word.
To
Ascertain?
ascertain?
I don't know why I can't read that. And assess security risks and to interview any and all employees. Thank you for your cooperation. Yours, Courtney Buckholz. The emails in this game.
Pick up envelope from J.J. Ling. Pick up fabric photos from Dieter von Schwesterkrank. Deliver photos to Jean-Michel Traquenard. Fix plotter. Do whatever Minette tells you to do and do it fast.
I'm going to actually turn up her volume.
I was about
because
to
can't
say,
hear her
you might
very
want
well.
to.
Here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where.
Alright. Now we can hopefully get better. Oh, how shall we get into this? We'll have to figure that out.
What's this?
That's the plotter. It's broken. Fixing it is one of your jobs.
And it's easy to fix, especially if you have all the different types of plotter answers.
Is it sad that I memorized which one you're supposed to use?
Oh, you have to use a specific one.
Yes.
It's the 3rd one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the one where it has B is like 2, I think the H is like 1, and then I is like 3 or 4.
That's the 2nd one. We'll find out.
There.
There we go.
Get the phone, please.
Should I really
Nancy,
pick
get the
up this
phone.
phone?
Nancy, if you don't get that phone, you're fired.
Nancy?
All right, that does it. Nancy, you're fired.
Nancy?
I had to do it.
There.
Get the phone, please.
Hi, Catherine's Clue Corner.
Nancy,
How
get
are
the
you?
phone.
Welcome in.
Bonjour, Minette's House of Design.
Bonjour, my name is
Welcome,
Liv
as we
Enrique.
just got
I'm with
fired.
the Modern History Department at UC Kearns in the States, and I'm following up on the
How are
letter
you
I
this
sent
evening?
to Minette about 2 weeks ago concerning Noisette Tornade.
Noisette Tornade?
It's that historian person, isn't it? Tell her we're sorry, but Minette is extremely busy and won't be able to get back to her for at least 6 weeks.
I'm sorry, but
I heard. Well, 6 weeks it is then. Thank you anyway.
Wow, that kind of just sounds like the phone calls I take. Sounds like the emails I write. But let's call someone. Classic Nancy, yes. It can't be a job that Nancy does unless she gets fired or gets kicked off for doing something wrong. Let's call Bess and George. We don't have a lot to go off of to tell them, but I just always like calling them. Because, at least in this game, if you call, like, the Hardy Boys at
JJ's?
the JJ's, you get that extra conversation that you don't normally get.
Yeah.
Bess and George, I don't think, have an extra one. That I'm aware
I
of.
don't think so.
Or dies on duty. Exactly.
Hello?
bonjour.
Oh, Nancy! George, go get on the other line, quick. It's Nancy. And remember, talk fast. She's calling all the way from France. So where are you? What have you seen? How do you like Paris? What's Minette like? Have you learned how to design clothes?
Bess, slow down. You don't have to talk fast, okay? My dad bought me a phone card and told me to make as many calls as I want.
Oh, great. Hi, Nance. What's going on? How's Paris? Have you seen the Louvre? What about the Eiffel Tower? How many famous people have you met?
George, 3 words. Prepaid,
Prepaid
phone
phone
card.
card.
Oh, great. Hey, perfect timing. We were just about to go for a run. Whoa, wait a minute. A run? Jog. I meant jog. But you said run. I meant jog. You know how I feel about the R word, George. Jog. We're going for a jog, Bess. Honest. So, Nance, tell us about Jing Jing Ling.
I can't. I haven't met her yet.
Then tell us about Minette.
I can't do that either. See, the airline lost my cell phone. I'm calling from her office.
So what can you talk about?
That's it for now.
Have fun. Amusez-vous bien. Show off.
I do kind of remember that dialogue. But that's the best part of that dialogue. I can't talk about it. I'm calling from her office. We're going to get in trouble if we say something because she's back here listening. Always in the office. Everyone listens to
those phone calls aren't recorded.
Everyone listens to everyone's phone calls. And if you happen to hear something that makes your ears perk up, you go and help them if they can't figure it out or don't have the answer. That's how it goes. Yep.
Well, there you are. I was just about to call Amy Grunhild and tell her that this internship thing she'd arranged for you was off. It's bad enough Amy foisting you on me like this. The day I become financially independent and can tell people like her to buzz off will be the happiest day of my life. Well, you're here, we've met, so get to work. Heather did give you a list of chores, right?
Yep. We're all set.
Yes, I'm all set.
I have
One more thing.
thought.
See that form over
wait.
there? The one I've just started to drape? Don't touch it. Don't even go near it. That's the dress I'm designing for the First Lady. Now go. Actually, make me a pot of my special tea first. It was custom blended by my tea therapist, so make sure you follow the directions. When you're done, pour me a cup and leave it on the table. A nice big boost of herbal energy never fails to get my brain cells firing.
Okay. Out of all the characters that we can call in this game, why can we not contact Amy Grunhild? That would be perfect.
Let's
Why
see.
can
To
we
make
not
Minette her
contact
tea,
her?
the first thing I should do is read these instructions. Then I should
Well,
put
you don't
whichever
wanna get
herbs
in
the
trouble.
instructions say I
But we
need
can call
into
her
this
at
pot of boiling
JJ's.
water.
Well, JJ's
Then when
not
I'm
supposed to know
done, I
either.
should click on the teapot so I can pour the tea into a cup. If I make a mistake and need to throw out an herb that I chose or the tea itself, all I have to do is click on the sink. Okay, I think I'm ready.
I just realized why I wanted to play this game. I had the aesthetic already and I never shared it. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, we need to go back and make a couple more of those.
Alright, after painstaking analysis of her body type, age, mood swings, eating habits, and lifestyle, I have formulated the following blend for Minette and for Minette only. If the fact that you had to write that on a piece of paper to say that shows, one, how unprofessional it is, two, how bad this analysis had to be. Guidelines must be strictly adhered to. I'm like skipping stuff.
If Minette has had a temper tantrum in the last 14 days, and if she declares that blue is her favorite color on the
Well, we have the tantrum.
Excuse me, Minette, but what's your favorite color?
Red.
Yeah, this is
When
just...
asked to pick a number between 1 and 10, if Minette chooses an odd number on the day the tea is to be consumed. Minette, could you please pick a number between 1 and 10?
10.
And we have, I don't know how many herbs that we can go back for. I kind of remember which ones we need to put in this,
I don't remember. You're on your own for this one.
but I also don't.
Just give her a pot of boiling water. Just don't put anything in it.
Don't tell her what you put in it, just give her hot water and she'll be fine.
She'll live.
Yeah, and get fired as well.
It'll be fine.
I'll work on this later.
You can't. So, if you do that, you cannot do it. Okay, I'm gonna kind of eat. I know that we need this one. Treeland. Calcula. Memory. Gibbering. Hogbone. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Something. Pipsweet. Barbane. And yellow buttons.
That should do it. I finished making your tea.
Just leave it there.
All right, let's look around. Let's
Oh,
snoop.
so rude, Minette.
I guess she's doing well. Oh, okay. All right. Minette the Masked. At the conclusion of Minette's fall show, the audience leapt to its feet and applauded for a full 5 minutes, electrified by her latest Wild Willy and wild creations, calling for Minette to join her models on the runway and acknowledge their...
Adulation?
That's a D, isn't it?
Adulation.
Adulation.
I don't know.
And at last joined them, she did, wearing a mask that she has yet to remove. Why the red hot American-born designer chose, whose 24/7 line, casual clothing designed to be worn all day, every day, set a worldwide trend last spring, has taken to covering her face is a fashion mystery, and as
Is a fashion mystery as odd and perplexing as the rule collars.
I started jumping words because I'm trying to, make sure I read it right. And then I just went, wait, what?
Yeah, I could tell.
But then conventional has never been a word that applies to Minette. Shunning the mainstream from the start, she is committed to designing clothes for normal-sized women, size 12 and up. Her curviest creations never failed to be flattering yet flamboyant, practical yet playful. Minette, where she to use her favorite word to describe them, would say that they are simply and totally rude. How has she managed to come so far so fast? She attributes her success to hard work, stubbornness, and the efforts of a gifted psychotherapist, formerly employed. Employees say she's very difficult to work for, calling her temperamental, egotistical, demanding, and extremely rude. And not in the way Minette uses the word. I like how they had to clarify.
I know.
Minette does have one loyal subordinate, Carol, has always been with her since the day she arrived in Paris, and Carol never complains, nor does she let the fact that Minette considers her to be her lucky charm go to her head. Of course, this is undoubtedly because, as a dress form, Carol doesn't have one. When your best friend is considered a mannequin.
Yeah.
When asked why she wears the mask, Minette simply says, "I'm a fashion designer. Why?" It is not a question I need to answer. Some of Minette's rudest creations started on Carol, her favorite form, seen here waiting the next draping. Minette in her Montreat studio, an old windmill whose round exterior mirrors her curvy, happy designs. Who knows, perhaps the public will follow suit, perhaps wearing a mask will soon become a fashion statement. De rigueur at balls and benefits. Stranger things have happened in this business. Remember plastic barrettes? What's about barrettes? Did that have anything to do with
Butterly, eat your heart out.
What happened to your wall?
You're not really talking to me while I'm trying to work, are you?
Sorry.
But why?
it? We want to know, why would you throw paint? Red paint, specifically. Where did you even get red paint?
Well, considering all the stuff that's sitting there, Heather probably grabbed it for her and then she used it.
Yeah, just poured it in the bucket and tossed it on there.
Not now, I'm busy.
Alright, we'll leave you alone.
Nancy, come
Never
back
mind.
here.
The tea is utterly rude. I can already feel my creativity flowing again, building like a wave on the ocean, surging towards some unseen shore. I have another job for you, a very critical job. See the stuff that I've been studying? That, in essence, is my spring collection.
Uh-huh.
All those objects have certain things in common which speak to and stimulate the artistic sinews of my subconscious, from which all the designs I need will eventually burst forth.
Uh-huh.
They're all totally rude, but they're not enough. I need more, Nancy. You need to take the number 7 metro to Pont Neuf, go to the flea market in Square de Vergalant Park, and buy me 4 more things with qualities identical to the ones each of these possesses. Use this bag. Put everything in there as soon as you buy it. I don't want anyone seeing what you bring me. It could give away my whole collection.
Yes, we go and buy you more junk that will inspire your next collection.
Here's some money.
I will take the money.
Okay,
Never
here's
turn
my
down
next
free
thought.
money.
Minette could be on the next set of borders. With all the junk she's collecting for her designs.
Maybe she donates it after she's done.
I'm just
knows?
supposed to go out and buy things?
Stuff. I want stuff. New stuff that's just like this old stuff, only different. Now just take a good look at my stuff, then go. Go!
So she has a bar stool, a bucket, a tire cap, and
A barrel?
Yeah, it looks like an
A large
oil
barrel?
I don't know how you would get inspiration for
Talk
that.
to Heather.
Forget something?
Has this windmill or moulin always been a fashion design studio?
No. In fact, until a year or two ago, this little old lady lived here. When she passed away, this place went on the market and Minette snapped it up. See, Minette has this thing about curves. She claimed working in a quasi-round environment like this would make her more productive.
And has it?
As if. But she has gotten a lot of press out of it. In fact, if there's one thing I've learned from Minette, it's that how a designer behaves is likely to get her just as much attention in the fashion world as what she designs.
Why does Minette wear that mask?
All I know is that back in March, on the last day of her big fall show, she showed up wearing that mask and she hasn't taken it off since.
And she's never bothered to explain why?
Sometimes she refuses to say. Other times she says it's because some mysterious man in black threw acid on her. I think it's because she just likes to get people's tongues wagging.
Who is Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
He's this awesome fashion photographer.
Just randomly
But
asked a different
listen,
question.
as it turns out, I have to run an errand in that area, so I'll pick up those fabric photos.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'll do it. Finding his studio will help me get more familiar with Paris. In fact, why don't I run your errand, too?
No, that's all right. It can wait. Getting those prints to Jean-Mi is much more important.
I love how it's like, oh, I'll take your task. Oh, no, never mind. I'll do my own task.
I was watching the playback because I do have the stream open on my computer, and I just watched my expression about the having acid thrown on Minette. I just was laughing.
It is kind of a funny, because like if that actually happened, she wouldn't just randomly show up to work with a mask on her face. No, she'd probably be in the hospital.
Also, the only reason why Heather wants to go to
She just wants
what's his
to
name's
go.
face? What's
She
his
just
name?
wants to see Dieter.
She wants to see Dieter because she has a crush.
Why am I delivering photos to somebody in a cafe?
Jean-Michel Trequenard is the fashion editor for Glam Glam magazine. All he really is a glorified gossip columnist, so it pays to be nice to him. Which, as you'll find out, ain't easy. His office is the Café Kiki on the Rue des Mauvais Garçons in the Marais. Look for the bald guy at the corner table. He'll have a cell phone in one hand and a fork in the other.
What's with all the red paint that's splattered on the wall in Minette's studio?
I came in one morning last month and there it was. Minette must have had a bad night.
And she
just happens to have
a can of paint in her office?
Probably using it for inspiration.
Bad Boy Street.
Ah, I'll let you get back to work.
Whenever you have questions, just ask.
We got €195. Got enough money to go and do whatever we want. Alright, new studio opens up with vengeance for Hugo Butterly. For 2 years, fashion fanatics on both sides of the Atlantic have gobbled up the stylistic confections of Hugo Butterly with an enthusiasm that shows no signs of stopping. As a result, the designer has only outgrown the tiny London loft where he started out as a mere my brain isn't broken. I'm not reading
I don't even
that.
know where you're at.
I finished this and I went to hop over here.
Where he started
Okay.
out as a mere 4 years ago, but it seems he's outgrown his native England as well. Last month he opened the new studio in Paris, out of which he now intends to work. Being invited to the opening was like being invited to the presidential palace, only better. Much better. Celebrities from all over the globe descended on the studio, located on trendy, can't pronounce it, something St. Louis. So many people showed up. I don't think we can flip the page.
Got one more page. Wearing Butterly's the colorful, free-flowing, full-figured, flattering styles that are his signature, that it was difficult to tell the guests from the models the designer had hired to promote his latest line. But as the night wore on, it became apparent that there were more people in attendance who didn't have invitations than people who did. In fact, which infuriated the designer, who had deliberately limited the number of guests to reduce the risk of damage to his new facility. Although several people said that Butterly was practically purple with rage that night, he said nothing to any of his guests and had no one thrown out. But within a week, all the party crashers had gotten a bill for €300, which they were told they had to pay or they would be charged with trespassing. Within another week, all had paid. When asked about the incident, Hugo just shrugged. They took advantage of me and they paid for it. I'm not very good at forgiving and forgetting. I may be the world's greatest fashion designer, but I'm afraid I'm not a very nice person. Yeah, that's like the best thing to say in an article. And also you can tell this is the first time I'm really reading those because I usually skip them.
Leave that alone, okay?
I just want to look at it.
There's something
Now
on the
we get
floor
to
here.
learn about
Looks
the
like
dodo
someone
box.
slipped it under the door. It's for Minette.
Go ahead and open it.
Make the most of what little time you have left. Soon it will all be over.
Oh no, not another one.
Minette's gotten other letters like this?
Letters, phone calls. They started sometime in April, then they stopped, then they started up again in July. And last month, someone sent Minette dead flowers every day for a week. She locks the letters up in her dodo box over there in order to neutralize them.
Should I give this letter to
We
Minette?
don't want to let
Just
her
put
know
it
that
in the
we
dodo
are onto
box.
something.
How do you open this thing?
You don't. There's a lock on it, but Minette is convinced that if she opens it, all the wickedness in there will escape and wreak havoc. In fact, don't say anything to her about that letter. It'll just upset her, and if she falls any further behind, she'll have to cancel her show next month. And if that happens, she may as well cancel her career.
Talk to you
Well,
later.
She's already
Have
so far
fun.
behind. Mm-hmm. What is adding a little bit more bad luck? What's have any effect for it?
That still need to do that. Been there, done that.
Let's
Check. Check. Oops. Can't check that off yet.
say those are the
Still
last
need to do
tasks.
that.
Let's go. Do we want to let's go to the apartment. Let's go talk to JJ.
Come in, set your things down and come on over here. Hi, JJ Ling. I shake your hand, but I get flour all over you. Oh, and Heather called and told me about your luggage. No worries. I have plenty of clothes in every size imaginable. Your bedroom's down that hall. The airline lost my luggage once, told me it was gone for good and paid me $100. Then 5 years later, my suitcase shows up on my doorstep. And a bill for the $100 they'd paid me. Plus interest.
Now, I will admit, I have actually heard stories where people's suitcases have turned up and they have asked for their money back. But usually it's within a couple of months, not 5
It
years.
showed up 5 years later.
What? You don't believe me?
No. Do we believe you knew?
Actually, no.
Ooh, you're honest, you're smart. You and I are gonna get along great, Nancy Drew. You were right not to believe me. I made it up. See, to be a good model, you kind of have to be a good actress too. So sometimes I make things up, just for practice. Just to see if I can get people to believe me.
Doesn't that make people kind of mad?
Some people, yeah. But I don't do it to be mean. And it's not like I'm hurting anybody. I'm just being creative. I've got some people convinced that I won the lottery and am actually a millionaire. It's kind of fun. You like chocolate chip cookies?
Yes. Can we
Yes.
have some?
I love chocolate chip cookies.
So do I. And the nice thing is, I'm about 3 pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that I need to be for Minette. I have a very high metabolism. So, I make cookies, I eat cookies, and since you're here, I share cookies.
Why does Minette want you to be a size 12?
Contractually, I have to be a size 12. See, Minette is into curves, so she designs clothes for full-figured curvy women. Because I signed on to be a fitting model, I have to maintain the ideal size 12 weight and shape.
What's a fitting model?
A fitting model puts on samples from a designer's latest line, so the designer can create each piece on a real live person instead of a dress form. It's not very exciting. In fact, it's totally boring. Plus, you're always getting stabbed with pins. But it pays the bills.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta
Does
do.
anyone else live here?
Nope, it's just me. And you now. Managed to get a short-term lease. Soon as I'm done being Minette's fitting model, I am out of here.
Heather wants me to pick up an envelope from you.
Oh yeah, it's right over there. Heather needed a bunch of personal information so they can pay me, but I refused to give it out over the phone. I'm real paranoid about that sort of stuff. Don't ask me why, I just am. Go ahead and take it to her.
Sounds
I know
very
how
familiar.
that goes. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Can you think of anyone who might be out to get Minette?
Well, Dieter, obviously.
Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
He and Minette went out for about 6 months. Then all of a sudden, last April, Minette dumped him. Just tossed him aside like last month's edition of Vogue.
Do you know why she broke it off?
No idea. Although I suspect it has something to do with the fact that Dieter lets his pet boa constrictor run loose in that photographic studio of his.
He has a pet boa constrictor?
That's what I said. Don't you believe me?
No.
Nice try, JJ.
This time I'm telling the truth. Dieter really does keep a snake in his studio. Hardly anybody knows about it. I think it may be illegal. If you happen to be in there, be careful.
See you later.
See ya.
Now, we were listening to the Stay Tuned for Mystery Podcast for Carter and Tori, and they made a comment about how they have multiple newspapers in this game. And I'm like, I only remember ever seeing 3 newspapers.
The podcast is Stay Tuned for Deep Dives.
Deep Dives. I couldn't remember the name.
I looked it up real quickly because I'm like, I know we're going to mess it up.
I'm going to butcher it. We need to finish the last episode that they released.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Local mint growers, unhappy with the fact that mint prices have fallen to $15 a kilogram, are attempting to drive prices back up by withholding and sometimes destroying their harvest. As a result, fresh mint is in short supply in Paris, and both professional and amateur chefs alike have taken notice. Not surprisingly, a black market for mint sprang up almost as soon as supply started to dwindle. Enterprising vendors do a thriving business in local parks and on street corners, sometimes charging €5 for a single sprig. The rack of lamb is a disaster without my signature mint sauce, lamented Christophe Parmeline, head chef at Le Vert Buffet Bistro, who has been forced to cook without mint for the last 4 days. I add a pinch of mint to everything, echoed Suzette Lamire, a homemaker who has been unable to buy the herb for weeks. At least I used to. Nothing I cook tastes good anymore. It's terrible. While they are hoping their strike will put pressure on their largest customers, the company that produce mint oil mint growers have little sympathy for people like Parmeline and Lamire. Consumers have taken mint for granted long enough, said the grower who refused to give his name. It's high time that changed. Isn't mint like a weed? It grows like a weed, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I think it does because I think I remember, I'm not sure if we had a plant or someone else had a plant.
I don't think we ever
Empty.
Nothing. But I think it's someone I used to work with. They had mint, and it was a weed. All right. Ask the young Frenchman who calls himself Zoo what his favorite part of Paris is. He'll say without hesitation the part you'll never see. He's referring to the tunnels and chambers that comprise the city's catacombs. Not to the 2 kilometers or so that are open to tourists, but the 300-some kilometers, which are supposedly off limits to the public. For Zoo, who spends all his spare time exploring them, the catacombs are home. The catacombs were created in 1785, when it became clear that central Paris was in danger of being contaminated by its overflowing in the cemeteries. The remains of former residents, 5 to 6 million all, were dug up, carted to the network of depleted limestone quarries that lay beneath the city, and stacked in its empty caverns in huge, artfully arranged, carefully labeled piles because of safety concerns. The authorities have sealed off the vast majority of these oscularies. Anyone caught trespassing faces a hefty fine, but for Zoo and his fellow cataphiles? Is that how you
Cataphiles.
Cataphiles? The threat of capture only raises the volume on the catacomb siren song. Why do I do it? Mostly because of the quiet, Zoo says. The quiet in the dark. The real catacombs are pitch black, you know. Makes you hyper aware of everything. Down there, you're as wide awake as you're ever going to be. For Zoo, going down there means donning waterproof boots. It's been extremely wet summer in the catacombs overall, and a headlamp. But when it comes to finding his way, he packs nothing more or high-tech than a hand-drawn map. I don't get lost anymore, he answers with a twinge of regret. At first, I'd get lost all the time. I'd wander down there for hours, terrified I was never going to find my way out. talk about wide awake, but then I started making a map and keeping track of everything I saw, and now he raises his hand and pats it. I know those tunnels like the back of my hand. Zoo claims to be an expert not only in the layout of the catacombs, but on the hundreds of mysterious marks and symbols that have been etched into the tunnels, stone walls, and floors. Some were left by ancient quarrymen, some by 19th century surveyors, and a few criminals on the run, but everything down there, he says, has a meaning. By necessity, Zoo, also an expert on quick escapes, the tunnel police can and often do show up when least expect. Zoo once eluded them by wiggling out of the tunnel through a 10-meter long rabbit hole that was less than 2/3 of a meter in diameter. Fortunately, he smiles, I don't eat a lot. That's not a good thing. The fact that he eats at all is due to the fact that he has a job in his other life, although he refuses to elaborate the reasoning that the less people know about him, especially the authorities, the better. However, he widely gives out his phone number.
He willingly.
Oh.
He said willingly.
Which he is confident cannot be traced, and encourages anyone who thinks they know something about that he doesn't.
I don't know where you're at.
Like right here. Something that he doesn't to call him. I know probably more about the catacombs than anybody else in Paris, he allows, but I certainly don't know everything yet. It just blurts out every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the fun conversation with the Hardy Boys that we're going to get to. Because I always like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2-8.
Hello?
Hey, Joe, it's Nancy.
Nancy? As in Drew? I thought you were in France.
I am in France.
Frank, pick up the phone down there. It's Nancy Drew calling from France. Everything okay?
Everything's great.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Frank. Whoa, you sound out of breath.
Not out of breath, out of shape.
Me? Hey, you're the one who's been taking a break for the last 2 hours.
Break from what?
Carrying furniture upstairs. Carpet layers are coming to redo the basement tomorrow, so we gotta get everything out. And I use the term we loosely.
Hey, I'm pacing myself here.
You're in the kitchen eating jelly donuts, aren't you?
Not anymore.
Well, I made it to Paris, okay.
Great. Exactly where are you?
Right now, I'm in the Latin Quarter.
Wait a minute. I thought you were in France, not Central America.
She's in the Latin Quarter of Paris, Joe, not Latin America.
They call it the Latin Quarter because it's where the Sorbonne University is. And until 1793, Latin was the area's official language.
Oh, what are you doing there?
I'm in the apartment Amy Grunhild arranged for me. In fact, did I tell you who my roommate is?
Is it somebody we know?
Jing Jing Ling.
Jing Jing Ling? The model? You're rooming with J.J. Ling, the famous Australian model?
Yep.
You're not talking about me, are you?
Oh my
No.
gosh, that was her? That was J.J. Ling?
Joe, just calm down.
I'm calm. I'm very calm. I am completely calm.
The heck you are. Now sit down. You're hyperventilating.
I finally met Minette.
So what's she like?
Very temperamental. It's like working around dynamite. One false move and she goes off. And I mean she goes off.
Is she talented?
She thinks she is, I can tell you that.
Big ego?
Huge.
Self-centered?
Totally.
Oh boy.
Minette's studio is something else.
Before you left, you mentioned it was an old windmill or something?
Right. It's in an old moulin. That's French for windmill.
Like that cabaret, the Moulin Rouge.
Exactly. And like the Moulin Rouge, Minette's windmill is in the section of Paris called Montmartre. The outer office looks like any other modern office, but Minette's studio, which is inside the moulin itself, is very old and funky.
How long has she been there?
Only about a year or so, long enough for her to throw paint all over the wall in a fit of anger,
She throws paint?
among other things.
Yikes.
I'll let you
Yeah,
go.
Don't
let
be
me
a
tell you
stranger.
about
Take
the
care.
potted plant that she almost threw at her head.
I kind of wish you could. So how did your first meeting with Minette go? Oh, she threw a potted plant at my head. It's nothing.
Yeah, it just barely missed me. I just had to make sure I ducked really fast.
We just need worker accommodations. Workers' comp. Workers' comp. Yeah.
To the memory of the French fighters.
Nancy,
Now-
you need a translation.
Yes.
You need a book to translate all this.
We need to also be very careful. When I was recording this game for our movie walkthrough, we had a issue where when we looked at that, what is it called? It's like a little remembrance statue. It crashed on me, so we need to save. Because I am not
Save
gonna
then.
lose.
Save right now while you're talking
Yes.
about it.
I'm going to change the name.
Hello, Amy. Welcome in. It's been a while since you've seen our streams. Yeah, we've not had any time recently to stream. Today is the first time in 2 months.
Yeah, we're gonna try to figure out a schedule, and hopefully we can stick to it.
Yeah.
Bonjour. Lequel préférez-vous?
Parlez-vous anglais?
If you buy, I speak whatever you like. I see you over there at the monument with the Cross of Lorraine. You are a tourist?
Actually, I have a job here in Paris, but it's only temporary, so I guess I'm kind of a tourist.
Tourists are good. I welcome tourists. I am Malika. I sell fine things from around the world. The others who sell here, they sell things which they pry from the muck of their basements. You see something you like?
Well,
We'll see. I'm also trying to remember, because there is a specific, like, haggling that you can do for this game.
Because if you go too low, then you have to pay full price.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's the price for some of these items?
Because I know you need the rings. I love how you can buy your own Captain
this
Cove
spoon looks familiar.
You can get a Sunday spoon like that in only one place. From a hotel in an amusement park which is said to be haunted. It is very special, and yet I sell for only 12 euros.
We don't need it.
I don't think I want it after all.
What else do you like?
We need
How
the
much are you
magic
selling the
rings.
green rings for?
They
I think
are
it's
green
€1.
magic rings. They cost 15 euros.
Nope, they're 4.
I'm like, I thought you could do it
Too
for
much.
less.
4 euros is more like it.
Voila. What else do you like?
I heard Roxy rustling downstairs, so I went to check on her. She was in my fake plant pot. Oh no.
We've had the same for our cats. They like to go and they were playing in ours.
Yep.
Guess I'm just
And
not
then
in
we
the
had to
buying
take them
mood.
away because they started
When you come
chewing on them.
back, maybe then I have what you like.
I'll remember that.
Merci. Au revoir.
I wonder if that book about outdoor gardening is something you can actually read.
That is something I don't know.
Enemies are Sicily. Yes, they are.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Monsieur Marchand, à votre service.
Bonjour, Monsieur Marchand.
American tourist?
Sort of. Is that okay?
I like Americans. They are smart. I sell good stuff and they can tell. So, what are you going to buy?
Well,
I love how there are a lot of references to hunting Parasol in this, because you got the arm as well from Spook number 9.
where have I seen this arm before?
That is the arm of a robotic monster with a very interesting history. The police detective who sold it to me says the arm figured into the capture of a dangerous criminal who operated at an amusement park in America. I sell it to you for 18 euros. A real steal, if you will pardon the expression.
I changed my mind. Not interested.
What else tickles the fancy?
What we really need
What's
is this
in
film
here?
canister.
A movie?
Oh, the gnome is
Oui,
also from
it
Ghost
contains an
Dogs.
American short film. I am not
A
sure
smile
if it is
only
about a
gnome could
beloved
love.
beast of burden in Tibet or about someone who talks a lot, but it has won many awards, and the fact that it is in a nice blue canister makes it well worth 84 euro.
I don't know who
No.
would want to spend that much money on it. Like, I can understand for a collector.
Wasn't
they'd
it
want-
21 euros?
Would you take 21 euros instead?
Vendu. What else tickles your fancy?
I think that was it for him. Yeah.
I really don't want to buy anything right now.
By any chance, does Mademoiselle wish to earn some money?
Maybe. How?
The tourists, they like to buy hand-painted reproductions of famous works of art. But as you can see, it is difficult for me to paint them. But for a young woman such as you, it is easy.
You want me to paint the reproductions?
You see? The lines are already there. You look at the original painting, you put paint on your brush,
easy.
you paint between the lines. Voila! A painting which the tourists will gobble up. And I pay you 15 euros for each one you complete. Do you wish to start now?
If you don't mind.
But of course.
All right. We'll just quickly make some money because we're broke. We need more money. Let's see. Do I remember all of the spots that I need to paint with each color? That one. Have the lips and this side of the face. Is that too dark? Yeah, that was too dark.
Hi, Nancy Spotsy Drew. Welcome in. No worries about jumping in late.
How are you this fine Monday evening? Oh, black is the only color left.
I know you said
Monsieur,
today was Monday
how's this?
evening, but my brain was telling me it's Sunday
Magnifique.
still.
You have done excellent
I'm
work.
so broken
And
on
for
my
that,
days.
I reward you.
Oh, the
Do
rest
you
of this
wish to
week is
paint
going
another?
to mess us up.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
But of course.
Let's pick this one.
Oh, you'll be here for a little bit.
We won't be here for that long. We are coming up, though, on probably taking a quick little break. I know that we had an ad break here a little while ago, so we might trigger another one just so that we can kind of extend it for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not the right color.
But
We
for
want
those of you
fire
who have come in, hope you're all having a great Monday. My husband's been sick all weekend, so we've been resting today.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you've got what he has? I hope you get better. How have we been doing? We've been doing pretty good. It's been pretty busy. It's been 2 months since we last streamed, just because we haven't had that much time.
We're prepping for upcoming events and all that, and we've been tirelessly working on new products and new items for the shop, and it's taken up so much time, and so we're finally making progress. We finally got with the manufacturer to finally get our product approved for design, and we're all good. So now it's just we get to play the waiting game. I think they said 2 weeks, and then we get probably like another week or two for shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It was only approved last week.
yeah, I'm not too worried about it, but I'm excited for it. Yeah, the waiting is always a fun part. We started it back in April, but there were a few hiccups and stuff like that, which which happened. That's why we ordered it early, because we knew that if something were to happen, it's not last minute.
Yeah.
We're panicking.
Because this piece, it's important to
It
the
is
event. in a
very
sense.
important to the event.
It has a special theme.
Of course.
And that's all I'm allowed to say for it, because if I say anything else, she's going to be so mad.
We don't want to spoil it.
No, we won't.
Even though we both are bursting at the seams trying to
This suspense, yes.
I want to share, but I can't.
Monsieur, how's this?
Another fine job. Here is your money. Do you wish to paint another?
Not right
No,
now.
thank
Maybe
you.
later.
Very well. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Au revoir.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. If you like the bargains, you have come to the right place. What captures the eyes?
Well,
Oh, look, we have the little piece. A piece of history that should be in a museum.
this piece of stone looks interesting.
Your instincts are very good. It is not just a piece of stone, it is a piece of history. That is an ancient key from an ancient civilization.
Wasn't
I
it
sell
worth like
to
10?
you for 50
How much
euro.
money did they take the monolith for? I don't remember. It was a lot of money. We don't need it.
I don't think I want it after all.
See anything else you like?
Does this cost very much?
The traffic cone is one of my favorites. So colorful and so useful. With it, I myself learned to park my car parallel. And I
It's
ask
so
only 10
tiny. How
euro
can
for
you
it.
use it to park parallel? Like if the thing was like twice the size, maybe.
It's just a little cone. €1.
It is yours. See anything
Maybe a
else you
moped.
like?
Moped would make more sense.
What's the price of this lava lamp?
That lamp
So many
is
references
very
to Secret
special.
of Scarlet Hand. There's
The
actually a
hoop
couple
which
references to a
rises
few
and
games. So
falls
you have
inside
the
it,
Haunted Carousel,
unlike any I have ever seen.
Ghost Dogs.
Watching it will entertain you
What
for
else?
hours. And I am selling it for only 20 euro.
That's the only two that I remember. Well, and Secret of Scarlet Hand. Oh, well, if you consider the teddy bears, aren't they from Secret of the Old Clock? I don't remember. I think this is like the only price we can get for this is like 15. Yeah, 15.
Would you take €15 instead?
It is yours. See anything else you like?
Oh, and the toy plane. The toy plane was also from. Oh, you're right.
Clock.
I need to
That
work
is
on that
Clock.
one. That was like one of the next projects I was going to work on.
Actually, I don't see anything else.
Here, new things come and old things go all the time. You must come back.
I might just do that. Au revoir.
Au revoir, mademoiselle. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
No, I didn't want to do that.
What captures their eyes this time?
Well, let's see. Actually, I don't see anything else.
Come back soon. Perhaps I will have new things.
Okay. Au revoir.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Okay, now we're going to leave. Just a little spin wheel. Oh, it doesn't do that yet. Darn. Out of all the things, they stuck a fish. Like, that's weird.
It is.
Well, we got stuff. Is that enough stuff? I don't remember. How many days do you think we'll actually go through in this game? I can speedrun this in 2 to 3 days. 3 max. If I'm speedrunning. If I'm viewing it slow, I could probably go like to 6. Let's talk to
No,
Dieter.
don't say anything. Let me guess. You lost your passport, so you're looking for the American consulate to get it replaced. Only you wound up here because you asked a Parisian for directions, and you thought you understood what he said, only you didn't. Am I right?
Well, you got only like 1% of that right.
Yep.
Actually, I'm looking for Dieter von Schwesterkrank.
Dieter von Schwesterkrank. Please don't tell me you're a would-be model who thinks her career would take off if only I would photograph her.
No, my name's Nancy Drew. Minette sent me here to pick up some fabric photos.
I regret to say I have not printed them up yet, nor will I have time to do so for quite a while. Had I used my digital cameras, there would be no problem, but unfortunately, the essence of those fabrics was better captured by film.
But I need to deliver them to that fashion editor, Jean-Michel Traquenard, today.
My regrets once again. Do you know how to make prints?
No. No, but we'll cheat our way through it. So, for the movie walkthrough, I did it all by hand. I did the sticky note on the monitor and everything. I'm cheating for this. I am not doing it again.
Sure.
Then all is well. There is a binder on the bookshelf that will tell you how to make prints with the paper I use, which is Krollmeister Eskachrome PB paper. The darkroom is through the door with the red light by it, and the 4 negatives from which prints need to be made are next to the enlarger. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Yes, the cheating is the best. The Easter egg is the consolation prize.
Yes, it is. All right, we got all the instructions of do this for it. Enter in your image.
Larger, negatives,
and the negatives.
developer,
Nope.
Stop bath, fixer. May I take this binder into the dark room with me?
Leave it in here, please. If you take it in there, you might spill something on it.
Yeah, and explode. Yeah, just explode with water.
What's this?
That's just a toy I made when I was a boy. Go ahead and play with it if you want. I still do.
Nancy should have gotten this for her desk. That would have been so much
Nice
fun.
camera. Is it digital?
Yes, very high res though. Very limited capacity. Would you like to borrow it?
I'd love to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just willingly
Just
hands
make
out
sure you don't
cameras.
knock over anything in there. Some of those chemicals are extremely volatile.
Yes, and that's why we're gonna flush your toilet 10 times.